Okay, what I wanted to work with and show you today is this old clock that I picked up. It's called an Ogee clock, and it originally had a mechanical movement here with the where you would wind up the. They had like a weight. You would wind that up, and then it also had one for the ringer on this side, or reverse. But all that was not present in this clock when I got it. And it still has on the back here like a little pulley you can see there, inside there right here, that would hold the weight. So you could pull that up and it would keep the clock going for, I think, 29 hours, I believe. That's what I read. But this clock dates to the 1840s. American made. And it's called an Ogee clock because of the molding here, where it's kind of like an S-shaped molding that goes around it. It has like a decorative, the original decorative glass here. I don't know if you could see that very well, but and then still has the original clock face. So those are valuable, and the hinges still work. Open it up there, and you can see down here that it's improved brass clocks, Edward Barnes, Bristol, Connecticut, and it's warranted good. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but a whole bunch of writing down there. So it still has the manufacturer's information there. And what I'm planning to do with this clock is to convert it to, since I can't, it'd be cost ineffective to try to bring it back to a mechanical working condition. I'm going to convert it to an electric clock powered by a battery. So these little metal things, I could turn them, and then I could take the face off here. You can see the face where you can mount a clock movement on the back there, and then the inside of it here. So that's my plan, and that's what we're going to work on. And I'm going to just kind of go over and show you how this works. Over here on my workbench, I have this clock movement that I bought on Amazon, and it has a pendulum, right, that you can put on here, and it came with this pendulum. That was a little too short. I think it's only like a 6-inch one, and this one's like an 8-inch, so I think I'm going to use this one on it. This one I already had. This probably won't use that one. And it came with these hands, and I'll probably use the scrolly ones in there on this clock. And it has the little rubber thing and screws to mount the movement onto the clock face. Then it has a speaker. This one will play 4 different chimes. So I'll be using that. And this one uses 2 AA batteries, and then the pendulum has 1 to keep it moving. Then it has a speaker that I'll have to mount. I was thinking of mounting the speaker. Move this aside again. Mounting the speaker, there's a little hole here. I'm just going to mount it right here so that the sound will go through here. So I'll just mount it right against that. Then I'll mount the 2 AA battery sound generator here on the back, and then I'll have the the third piece with the pendulum movement on the back of the clock face. And so that'll all fit snugly right inside the clock case there. Then the pendulum will swing down in this area and you can see it through the glass. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, this did not come with mounting hardware for the speaker, or to mount this to the back of the clock. It only came with the mounting pieces to put the movement onto the back of the clock face. So I got these two small screws here that I'm going to use and to mount right through the back of this onto the back of the clock. Then I found these, these were for mounting a bathroom mirror on the wall. So I'm going to use these to hold the clock face against that bracket like that, and I'll just screw them down with these screws right like that, and that will hold this against that bracket inside the clock case. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll bring over the clock face and start. I'm trying to think where I'd like to start with that. I think I'll start working on it inside the clock case. So we'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to start installing this clock motor onto the back of here, right through the hole here. And like that. This will be straight up and down like that so the pendulum can swing. Let's see, first I'm going to put this little rubber piece should go on the back of this to keep it from moving. Okay. Then we put this washer on there. Then I'll just tighten up this nut onto the clock movement shaft. And typically with these, you want to tighten it up finger tight and then go another half turn or so. So it's straight up and down there. And this uses an 11mm nut. And go a little, make sure it's good and snug on there. It's still a little loose, a little tighter. So I'm doing a little more than probably didn't get it finger tight. But still, it's not moving around anymore. Yeah, there we go, that's tight enough. Okay, so that's installed. We'll put the hands on later. So now we move on to mounting these other pieces here. I want to make sure that this wire doesn't affect the movement of the pendulum, so I'm kind of being careful of that. And thinking about if someone wanted to change the battery, they would have to take this out and take the battery out, and then they could get to that easily. So I'm just kind of thinking about future maintenance on this. So I think I'll mount that part of it right about there, down in that area. Get a screwdriver over here. And this wood is 180 years old, so there it goes. There's one down there. Okay, I'm gonna let you see how that came out. Just put the two screws, one there and then the other one there. So now I'm going to move on to the speaker. Zoom in there a little bit better. Okay, so the speaker is going to have it so that it'll be right about there. So I'll put like one of those brackets over here, maybe one there and one down here. Leave it open on this side. Okay. I'm gonna start working on that. I'll have to get another screwdriver. So I've got back one back here mounted. Let's see that. So I mounted that and tightened it down securely. Now I think I'm just gonna do two, and I think that's gonna hold it down and keep it from rattling around. So I'm gonna tighten that up, and that should hold that speaker in there pretty well once I get it tightened down. And if not, I could always go back and add another one. Okay, so now that's all. The speaker's really well, focus a little bit there, mounted in there. It's not going anywhere. And the wires are out of the way. So now what we can do is I'm going to put the batteries in the clock face here on the movement on the back there, and I'll install the two batteries in the Chimes sound maker, whatever you call that. So we'll put one battery in here. Okay, put that one in, and we'll put these two in. Okay, then we'll put the amp on. Okay. Put the hour hand on there. I'll have to adjust these too, because I'm not sure where the chime is set up. You have to synchronize them with the clock movement. Okay, so I got those two things down there. So I'm going to turn this the movements adjustment here for the time, and see if I can get that to chime. I lost count of how many chimes it has. Seemed like it's about 5 or 6. I'm gonna put this. I wanted to do the Westminster chime. Let's see, I have it. This has got to go like this, okay. Okay. I'll have to get the, change it out a little bit here. Okay, so what I realized is that I had the clock movement upside down in here. So the 12 should be at the top. I had it upside down with these two. They belong down here. So anyway, I flipped it over. So let's try this again, and we'll try to count how many chimes it has. I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I think it was 7 chimes. So I'm gonna, there's this button here that I could push to add time to it. So I'm gonna just do it 3 times. I wasn't really counting very closely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's at 8 o'clock. We'll go another Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them, and I'll once I get it to the right synced on the right hour, I'll let you know and come back. Okay, so I got the chime going with the right amount of time now, so it's chiming 3 times, and it says 3 o'clock on here. Where I am right now, it's about to be 9 p.m., so I'm going to start turning this till it's close to 9 p.m. here. I'll have to let it go through all the chimes to get it to the right time. So it's doing the right hour now, so I'll just keep on doing it until it gets to the right time. So I'll bring you back when I'm there. Okay, I got it synchronized with 9 o'clock. And now I'm gonna put the second hand on there. Just push it down. There's the second hand going around. Then the last part is gonna be putting the pendulum on there. So push this up here where it's supposed to be. Making sure the wires get tucked in correctly. Twist the little bracket stick down so it stays secure. Then this pendulum just kind of hangs on a little hook under there. See if I could take this. Get you. So inside of here, you look in there, there's a right over here. That's where the pendulum hangs on there. Get that hook. Okay, so I put a flashlight here so you can see right there. That's where the pendulum is going to hang on this little hook on the end of that. So just going to put it on there. Okay, so it's hanging on that hook. So now, with any luck, whoop, it came off. I'll get it on there. Okay, I finally got the pendulum mounted on there. I found it easier. I just took the clock face out again and then attached it and then laid it down like that, so it's securely mounted on there, and now it's ready to close up. And we'll lift it up. So these are meant to hang on the wall. We'll get the pendulum started. So there we go. So we have a battery operated clock movement in there and a pendulum set up just like it was supposed to be, except it's not run mechanically. but at least it puts this really cool ancient, like 180-year-old clock back into use. You didn't get, I want to show all the parts here. Go around the sides, the back of it. It's kind of very rustic back on the back. You can see where this is where you would hang it, these two spots there. So you can mount it on a wall like that. It even has a knot hole down here. Looks like a fence boards on the back. And on the other side here, it has these, feels like, I don't know if that's like a thin piece of wood or leather or something, that one was eventually usually cover that side too. So there we go. And let's see, at 9:30. Yep, it's keeping good time. Okay, there you go, the 1840s Ogee clock converted to a battery operated clock and chime.